Okay, we're going to get started with the first flight. We've got those.
It's day one of championship weekend, and Mother Nature has dropped a major cold front, bringing lightning and high winds.
I don't know what it's going to do to the fishing.
We hope that thunderhead jack with them.
Despite the conditions, there's still a lot on the line. More than $130,000, including 2 brand new Ranger boats. This week on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Cabela's.
We've had a lot of lightning this morning. We've actually got a cold front moving through, coming out of Oklahoma, moving from the northwest to the southeast. An enormous amount of lightning. So we're giving the guys plenty of time to get launched. Safety first, always. Looks like we've got about an hour delay at this point.
Conditions this morning are tough. After reports of a solid shallow bite during practice, a big front has moved through North Texas, delaying takeoff and leaving the anglers to contend with high winds predicted to gust well past 30 miles per hour.
The weather's changed, but 3 or 4 weeks before, the weather was pretty much like this when I came over, so hopefully the fish will line up back to where they were as opposed to where they were yesterday, but we'll find out shortly.
We're predominantly going to fish shallow. I think that's what is going to be our ticket to success today. I just don't know if the wind's going to blow right for us. I hope it doesn't blow our stuff out. But if it doesn't, I think we're going to have a good day.
What's y'all's game plan for today? Catch 5 big ones.
We've got 128 boats on the water this weekend, fishing for a purse worth more than $130,000, including a Ranger Z519 for both first and second place. The Texas Team Trail has been to Ray Roberts before, but this year, extensive rains have brought the lake up, flooding the vegetation, and giving the bass plenty of shallow cover.
They're shallow, they're up very shallow. Gardens fried, feeding, they're getting ready to move out, they just haven't moved.
Last year it was low, there was willows growing all on the bank everywhere. Now with the water up, there is miles and miles of good cover for those fish to hide in, and it's really got those fish spread out. So it's going to be a challenging the next 2 days to put 2 good sacks together and see what we can do about winning this tournament.
Also in play this week is the Lucas Oil Team of the Year. Going into this event, Russell Cecil and Todd Castledine have an ever so slight lead over the rest of the field.
I wouldn't say we've had the best year, but I guess it's kind of the diminishing marginal returns in that because it's evened out because there's been such big fields. There's been some guys that have done really good in a few and not as good in others, and we've had only 1 top 10. We got a 3rd at Texoma, but we just kind of hung around in the other ones. So at the end, luckily enough, our composite was the best.
We'll get right into day 1 coverage with Cecil and Castledine. They won the Lucas Oil Team of the Year title in the inaugural season and have finished inside the top 10 every year since.
Pull it down, I got this.
Fishing is up and down. Usually when you come here, for us, we've usually, got on some kind of little pattern or something, and we've been able to at least see some big ones. Maybe, they come up to the top or, throwing a bait that we kind of know catches big ones. This time around, that's not the case. We're getting bit, but we have no idea how big they are. So, we could literally come in with 8 pounds or 30 pounds. Yeah, I guarantee it'd be probably closer to 8.
You think I ought to flip these when we go by?
I don't know.
What's it gonna hurt?
Can, I guess. I'll get out here.
Slow. Caught a couple white bass. 1 little bitty black. 3 little bitty blacks. 1 of them actually kept.
Did it keep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much to it though. Not what we need, that's for sure. They're gonna have to hit this hard for me to know it.
Got one? Well, that was easy.
Well, I knew it. Another little bitty one. I guess it's better not catching them.
Moving on, we'll check in with Jason Kahn and Robert Brock Jr. This is their first stop of the day, throwing buzzbaits over a windy Main Lake point.
We're starting with the buzzbait this morning. We came out the week before the cutoff, and we tried just about everything. Threw a buzzbait. It's about the only consistent bite we had. Caught an 8-pounder in practice with it. That one day we probably had 25 pounds. That 2 days later we came out and caught about 19 pounds. And then yesterday, day before, about the only bites we could get were on a buzzbait, you know, good, decent bites. And so we just decided to start using it this morning because that's what we've been catching them on. But we got 30-mile-an-hour winds out of the north now, so don't know if that's going to change things or not.
We're just getting underway with coverage. Coming up, we'll get right back on the water with more from the 2016 Texas Team Trail Championship, presented by Cabela's.
It's in our stomping grounds and our playground. It's in our sights and our commitment. It's in him, it was in them, and it will continue with her. It's in my nature. Is it in yours?
Everybody knows somebody that just seems to have things go wrong around him. And for me, it's my good buddy Z when he heads to the water. It's like a black cloud follows this guy around. He runs out of gas, locks his keys in the car, or worse, has a flat tire coming to him from the water. But old Z's a pretty sharp guy. He relies on Boat US in those situations where something goes wrong.
Boat US has the finest low-cost boat insurance and the largest fleet of towboats ready to assist you 24/7. Visit BoatUS.com.
Let's get down to business. Quiet, you sons of fishes. Now, what?
I'm switching sonar.
Why?
Because now I can see fish swimming live in front of my boat. I even see fish attack my lure. Y'all sonar's just history. I'm out.
I'm with him.
Total performance. Nowhere could it be more defined than in the Ranger Z series. With unparalleled advancements, these rigs are driven to dominate. Coupled with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and up to 500 hours with no dealer schedule maintenance, they're the ultimate fishing machines. The legendary leadership of the Ranger Z500 series. It's the kind of feeling nothing else can touch. Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Introducing a revolutionary concept in outboards, a choice. Now with the Evinrude E-Tech G2, you can choose unrivaled performance, superior fuel economy, and the cleanest combustion outboard on the planet. Choose from hundreds of color combinations to perfectly match your boat. And choose 5 years or 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Experience the power of choice at ChooseYourEtech.com.
This portion of the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's is brought to you by Cabela's. It's in your nature. By Ranger Boats. Still building legends one at a time. Mercury Outboards. We're leading the pack. And by Lucas Oil. It works. Welcome back to Lake Ray Roberts. This is day one of the 2016 Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Cabela's. We had a strong cold front blow through early this morning. Now, anglers are faced with a north wind gusting to 35 miles per hour, forcing many to alter, if not completely abandon their game plan. Fishing out of the wind is the team of Shot and Yowl. They're up shallow, flipping submerged cover.
We had a couple bites this morning and they just, I don't know if it's the front or what's going on. They were real negative, didn't take the bait right. And, we just figured, well, in practice we had a 6 and a 4 in here, so let's go give it a whirl. These changing weather conditions, you're always questioning yourself, am I doing the right thing? Or wind's blowing so hard, we're fishing 3 times faster than we need to. And that'll help slow us down, give us a little confidence. There's a bunch of fry right there, brother. Bunch of fry.
Got rejected in a pretty good spot right there. Got rejected. Wow. Really? Thought that was loose.
Pretty good one.
Big one. Got him. That's a nice one to start with, buddy.
All right, man, we got the stink off. Yeehaw.
Yep. Deep, wasn't he? You can power pull down if you want. Yeah, that's a good 4-pounder.
Won't bite braid and all that crap in the shallow water.
4-pounder, right at it. Didn't hit any of that right there. I'm just gonna leave it all to you. Yeah. Put him on the big side.
This is kind of like Caddyshack. They're playing that round of golf. He said he doesn't think
he was having the round of his life.
The round of his life, yeah. I don't think the bad stuff's gonna come in for some time yet.
Little fat one.
That one is a little fatter. Here, just pick up my rod. God, dude, he was barely hooked.
I know. Well, she was down there for a while, like
chewing on it.
Huh?
Chewing on it like bubble gum?
No, I mean, she was down there like hung up for a long time. You saw how long she was hung up for. She might have been chewing on it for a while, but she was down there.
But regardless, she was down there.
This is Jason Kahn and Robert Brock Jr. They picked up a small keeper early, but it's a frustrating start compared to what they found in practice.
It's a little slow this morning. I mean, I've had a few blow-ups, little light blow-ups, you know, so. In my experience with top water, if that's the case, normally later in the day, it gets better.
Billy and Lynn Klein are one of several father and son teams on the trail. This is their first championship, and even though the day isn't what they expected, it's still good family time.
Whether we catch any fish or not, we have the camaraderie of being together.
I enjoy it a lot more when we catch fish.
Well, I do too, but you know, you can't always have the pie and eat it too.
Got him. I need a net. No, don't do that. That's a good one. You ready?
Yep.
He's not hooked very good. Hang on, pull the net out, pull the net out. Get ready. He's not that good, but he's pretty solid.
He's a fish.
Maybe 3-pounder. There we go. I guess I'll stick with this for a little while. The old school Pop R. That's 2.5.
Coming up, championship coverage continues from Lake Ray Roberts and the 2016 Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Cabela's. For schedules and information, check out TexasTeamTrail.com.
Lucas Oil Marine Products, established by performance, built on quality, and proven on land and sea. Lucas Marine Products offer a complete lineup of outboard engine oils, fuel treatments, lubricants, and boat care products. Expect optimal performance from your investment by using Lucas Marine Products. Available at Cabela's.
Some days, the biggest rush of all is feeling really, really small.
For years, they've quietly taken you where the fish are. But now the silence is about to break. With the incredible new iPilot Link, your Minn Kota and Humminbird can communicate with each other. So you can hold on a spot like an electronic anchor. Record and return to waypoints and paths. Follow any Lake Master depth contour and more. All automatically and all from your Humminbird or the Link remote. They talk and you'll be speechless.
This portion of the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's is brought to you by Stratos Boats, Step Up or Step Back, by Evinrude, Spend More Time on the Water, by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram, and by General Tire, Anywhere is Possible. Lake Ray Roberts. This is the 2016 Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Cabela's. The big story today is the high winds. It's gusting over 30, and the anglers are struggling to adapt.
It's just, you can hardly fish anywhere. And we've been catching in practice, but just about everywhere we've been catching in practice got 3 or 4 foot waves blowing in on it and muddied it up.
I don't know what it's blowing out here, but I'd say 30, 35 is probably safe to say. And it just makes it hard to fish and wind that heavy. We don't have a choice. Some of the best days you ever have fishing are the worst days to be out here.
This is Mark Child and Kyle Dragulski, one of the few teams we've come across with a 5-fish limit.
We started out the morning fishing shallow, taking advantage of the overcast conditions. And we caught most of our fish on a big, hard jointed swim bait and a chatterbait this morning. And as the sun came up, we pushed in and started flipping Senkos. We've caught probably 12 keepers, and you know, a lot of them were similar in size, all post-spawn. And so we've gotten to the point where we know we need a bigger bite. And so typically for me, I'll spend 3/4 of my day, I'll catch a limit, and 3/4 of my day running these ridges, you know, throwing soft plastics up against them right on the drop line. There you go.
Dang, it was a terrible net job, but we'll get it. Terrible job. Good job, dude. That'll help us a little bit. So, just gotta go from there.
And just a couple of casts later, they've got another upgrade.
Bring it back to me.
Yes. Thank you, Lord. That was cool.
All right, big girl, it's time for you.
With time running out on the day, Colt and Clint Ferris are still looking for number 5.
Net. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's the one. Well, no, my line's here. My line's here. Oh.
Never lose fish on A-rigs.
That's a good one. Told you we need to stay right here. That one hurt. That one hurt.
What do you do? I mean, jump off on an A-rig.
I was worried my line.
I wasn't worried about your line. I didn't care about your line. Get him
out left.
Wrap
I wanted
him.
you to take it to the right, but it didn't matter.
Wrap him up in your line. Well, he was running left. I was just assuming wrap him up in your line, get him in.
Yeah. Dang it.
He was that one that swirled, I guarantee it.
Huh?
I'd almost bet he was that one that swirled.
That's a good one.
There.
Net?
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Number 5.
There.
There we go. That's what we're talking about right there.
Staying strong mentally right there.
With the clock ticking, we'll wrap tournament coverage and get our cameras back to weigh-in. When we return, championship coverage continues from Lake Ray Roberts.
For anglers who want it all, the new HDS3, a revolutionary step forward in simultaneous chirp sonar and structure scan HD sonar imaging, clearer views, faster interface, multi-touch screen, keypad operation, and total boat control. Plus, with versatile networking and go-free wireless sync of maps, software, and apps, HDS3 is the ultimate fish finding system. Find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance.
Introducing Velo, short for velocity. Born to drive 150 horses, faster than ever before. Its physique makes Velo more fishable, gear more accessible, prey more vulnerable. Velo from Stratos.
Introducing the most advanced, efficient predator on the water today. Triton's new XS series. Stalk your prey with hot new features like a solid-state fuseless dash with push-button start and support for 10-inch depth finders and new bow control with support for 8-inch depth finders. Prowl the deep with our most advanced drivability, maximum comfort, and an incredible hole shot. The new XS by Triton.
At Amphibia, we've resolved to build a product that nobody else offers, using methods that nobody else is using, optimized for life on water and land. The choice of top bass fishing pros. Amphibia frames are designed to fit comfortably no matter how your face is shaped, to stay firmly in place through your most physical activities and to float in water. Amphibia sunglasses are truly designed for life on the water.
Oh, nice shot.
You put the cool in life. We put the cool in coolers. Arctic ice.
Mercury engine test.
Lightweight power you can rely on. It's good to have Mercury behind you.
This portion of the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's is brought to you by Boat US. Take us with you on the water. By Arctic Ice. We put the cool in cooler. And by Garmin. Fight your fish, not your fish finder. Welcome back to day one of the 2016 Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Cabela's. This is the final event of a record-breaking season in the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's. And thanks to the great support of our anglers, the trail has seen record growth. And with that comes even bigger payouts. For the season, we've given away more than $440,000 in cash and prizes in just 4 events. And we're not done yet. There's another $130,000 up for grabs here on Ray Roberts. But it's not going to come easy. Conditions were tough on day one, and it's time to go to the scales.
Russell Cecil and Todd Castledine with
Russell Cecil and Todd Castledine are leading the Lucas Oil Team of the Year race. They weighed 5 for 1171 and 32nd place. Looking at the top 5, Stephen Johnson and Danny Isles are in good position with a limit weighing 1931.
1931, good job, Stephen.
This is Robert Case III. He fishes with his father, and together they sacked up 2108 for 4th place.
Set the entire bag in there.
Tracy Sanders and Butch Huey settled into 3rd with 5 for 2162.
Place at 2162. Great start today, man. Good luck tomorrow.
Ricky Campbell and Donnie Robinson were up next.
Looking for a new leader, and we found him. Yes, sir. 2449. Great job. You got a big one in there?
Our primary spot was blown out due to the wind, so we went to some of our secondary areas, and everything seemed to work pretty good. We lost a couple of fish, but we didn't fish real well, but we're privileged to catch what we did.
All right, this is Lee Batson and Jason Greer with a 5 bass limit. That's going to be the new leader, 2792. Congratulations, guys.
We thought we could catch 20 to 22. We didn't expect to catch 20, almost 28. We didn't have any idea. Our biggest fish in practice was just barely a 6-pounder. We were catching quite a few 4-pounders. So to catch a bag this big was not really what we expected.
At the end of day one, Lee Batson and Jason Greer have a nearly 3.5-pound lead over the rest of the field. Here's a look at the rest of the top 10.
TTT, best trail you can fish, for the money.
This trail is the best, I think, that we've had in Texas in a number of years, 20 years or better.
It's great people all the way around. I mean, all the way down from Ranger Boats to Caraco TV, all the way down to the tournament organizations. I mean, it's just a great organization.
There's no other place like Texas. I don't think there's a place in the country where you could garner this type of support. They're hungry for fishing. The format fits very well with a low entry fee, team event, high payouts, contingency awards. We're going to great bodies of water, great fishing. It's just really hard to beat.
For information, schedules, and registration, please visit TexasTeamTrail.com or check out the TXTT Facebook page. As always, we'd like to acknowledge the Texas Network of Boat Dealers. If you're in the market, please support those that help support the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's. Next week, we'll close out the season with the final day from the Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Cabela's from Lake Ray Roberts. The Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's is a Caraco TV production. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.